all to self-study. In this video, we'll be studying about light reflection and refraction. Basically, the initial part of it, that is the reflection of light. It is presented by me, Arzu Pundir. So let's begin. So light is a ray. It is a ray which travels in a straight line, and so we call it as a ray of light, as it is traveling in a straight line. It is also said that light has both particle and wave nature. That is, it travels like a particle but in a form of a wave. When we say that light travels in a straight line, we can justify our statement by the fact that whenever light travels and there is a opaque object in its path, कोई ऐसा ऑब्जेक्ट जो लाइट को अपने थ्रू पास ना होने दे, ऐसा कोई ऑब्जेक्ट अगर लाइट के पाथ में आता है तो लाइट उसकी एक बहुत ही ज़्यादा शार्प जो एक इमेज है या शैडो हम उस जैसे कहते हैं उसको यहाँ पर कास्ट करती है दूसरी साइड. यू विल सी अ राउंड शैडो on the other side of it on the screen. So this thing proves that light travels in a straight line. But when this object is very small, so when the rays of light tend to bend, they will strike it and they will bend. And what happens is that you are not able to see the image of smaller objects. So this is the phenomena known as diffraction, and due to this it was said that light travels like a wave. Now there are generally two phenomena which are exhibited by light. One of them is reflection and the other is refraction. So in this video we will be studying particularly about reflection. To begin with, we have reflection of light with its definition. So it says that the bouncing back of light rays after striking a hard surface is known as reflection of light. So if we are going to say that this is a screen or a surface, this is a ray of light which has fallen on it. So after falling on the surface, this light will be reflected back. And more prominently when it is a shiny surface. At that time, you can experience this reflection and on a more prominent basis. So a ray of light comes and strike on this surface and it gets reflected back. So this phenomena is known as reflection. Now we come up to the laws of reflection. So there are basically two laws of reflection, that is the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. And the second one says that the incident ray, the normal to the angle of incidence and the reflected ray all lie in the same plane. Now what are these? As we studied earlier, if this is the screen, let's say PQ, and this is the painted side of it, this is the reflecting side. Now the ray of light which is coming over here, this is the incident ray. This is the ray of light which is incident on the surface, तो हम इसको incident ray बोलते हैं. ये incident ray जिस point पर strike करती है वहां पर हम एक 90 डिग्री की लाइन ड्रॉ करते हैं which is known as normal to the angle of incidence, because angle of incidence is this angle. तो हम इसे कहते हैं normal to the angle of incidence. Now the first law says that angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. तो जब ये इंसिडेंट रे यहाँ आएगी और इस एंगल पर फॉल कर रही है तो जब ये रिफ्लेक्ट होकर वापस जाएगी यहाँ से, so the angle formed by this reflected ray with this normal to the angle of incidence, that is r, this angle is equal to this angle, that is angle I, that is angle of incidence, is always equal to angle of reflection. This was the first law. Next comes that the incident ray, that is the A to B, the normal to the angle of incidence, let's say B to C, and the reflected ray, that will be B to D. So AB, BC and BD all lie in the same plane. That is when we are talking about x and y. So if we say that they are in the xy plane, तो वो यहीं पे lie करेंगे. So all are in the same plane. Now we will study the characteristics of image formed by a plane mirror. As it has been already studied by you people, or the students of class 10th especially, in their previous classes. So here we are only dealing with the characteristics. So if the characteristics of an image formation by a plane mirror are that it is virtual in nature. Virtual images are the images which cannot be obtained on screen. The images which cannot be obtained on screen, they are known as virtual images. They are erect. By erect we means that if the object is in such a manner, the image will also be like this. Whenever we see ourselves in a plane mirror, so we don't see ourselves inverted. सर ऊपर और पैर नीचे नहीं दिखते, जैसे हम खड़े हैं वैसे ही दिखाई देंगे. Similarly, that is what is meant by erect, that it is in the same position. Next is equal size. Again, when we see ourselves in the mirror, it doesn't happen that we are appearing small or bigger. So here I am talking about plane mirror. You may have seen yourselves sometimes in such kind of mirror जहाँ पर हमारे जो height है वो छोटी या बड़ी दिखाई देती है. But if it is a plane mirror, then the size of the image is equal to the size of the object. Again, the distance. If the mirror is placed over here, then the distance of this object from the mirror is equal to the distance of the image. That is why you people must have seen कि जो changing rooms होते हैं malls में या shops में, उनमें they are very small rooms, but they don't appear to be so, because when they are covered with plane mirrors on all the sides, if you are standing over here, so the distance, this and this and this, so the distance get doubled when you see your images. So it gives the appearance or an experience of some spaciousness. So the image distance is equal to the object distance. The last thing over here is that the image is laterally inverted. By lateral inversion, we means that whenever we stand in front of a mirror, our right hand is the left hand of our image. If you will see it according to the image, so it will be the left hand. So that is lateral inversion. So thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe the channel, like the video if you have liked it. Press on the notification button.